There, you're live.
Dang it.
On live.
You're on.
Don't worry.
What?
What do I do
What
now?
am I on?
Okay.
Okay. Low power mode.
All right.
Oh, low power mode? I'll get you a
It's like
battery.
whenever Sorg does it. I learned
Now
from
you know.
Sorg that the way to start a podcast is not to try to stop and like wait for the exact perfect
I'm
moment.
going to save you,
just
honey.
kind of rip it off and you just go. So where are you going?
Now you know how I felt when I was doing Mayhem 8. It was just like a deer in headlights.
Well, that's because you didn't follow the instructions that I
I
left
can't-
with you. Love.
Can't use it.
Magic of TV. Oh,
Always look for
no.
the helper.
Always look for the helpers. That would have been Chad to
Fantastic.
Shad.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So anyway, all right. Well, he'll be up there in a second. All right. Thank you for the first ever. Thank you. Welcome to the first Listen to Your Parents podcast. Brought to you here from your friends at Sorgatron Media. I'm Matt. This is Jen. I'm going to go around the horn real quick. Check in with my friend Doug on the other side of town here in Pittsburgh. What's going on, Doug?
What's up? I'm in the beautiful borough of Dormont. And that's all I got to say about that. We've had helicopters above us because apparently we're going to be singing on Sunday.
Ooh. Like Italy?
Exciting.
As in, I
And,
guess it starts on one end of the borough and goes on. And
Huh. Wow,
I'm drinking.
sounds Newsworthy.
Interesting.
Right, great. Yeah, more drinking in a second. That's my dog. And the voices you also hear there, my cousin Chris, his wife Elena, coming to us from Buffalo, New York. So hello to both of you.
Hello. Hi,
Howdy.
everybody.
Hey,
Hope
hey,
you're
hey.
surviving out there.
Yeah, we're hanging in
In
there.
there.
So just real quick, kind of like to set the stage. First of all, one of us should let the dog address the dog. And while we're addressing the dog, we're gonna go around the horn real quick and just kind of ask everyone kind of what your situation is right now. Who's in your house, who's not leaving your house, and kind of like how things are rolling in a general perspective. So Doug, since you have the most chaos, it seems like let's start with you.
so let's see here. I am home with two boys, 9 and 11. We start online learning next week, hopefully, fingers crossed that works out. And then also my wife is home for 2 days during the week, and then she works the rest of them. So this week has been a very big challenge. With my company, we started working from home last Friday, trying to figure out how we were going to do everything and trying to manage the business along with having two kids who realize that they're not taking classes right now. They can pretty much Fortnite all day has been a very interesting time, but no pets. So I don't have that yet.
Yeah, Fortnite seems to keep coming up whenever we talk about
Well, it gives them an opportunity to socialize.
Yeah, Fortnite knows now that. What their situation is. Well, we'll talk about that. Yeah.
Fortnite, Minecraft, Mario Kart. Actually, we've limited the Fortnite due to raging. So we're now raging over Super Mario Brothers and everything else. Because what else are you going to do when you play?
Excellent. Chris and Alanna?
Hi, I lost my counterpart. We had a low battery issue, so we're
Nothing wrong with my battery.
we have 4 kids that are, let's see here, 13, 10, 8, and 4. And Chris always works from home. And I work from home part-time, but I also go into the office part-time. So now we're both full-time at home with the kids homeschooling.
Normally I'm used to working from home and a very quiet home with just me and the dog. So this is a bit of a change.
Super fun.
And there's
Okay.
dog.
And just so that we're all included here, I'll tell everyone that I'm at home because I'm between jobs. You're a stay-at-home mom, and we've got 2 boys, a 13-year-old, an almost 13-year-old,
Almost 13,
and a 10-year-old. And this pooch here you see on our lap right now. It's 4. If anyone's wondering. So I'm just kind of thinking that we're just about like a week since kind of everything hit the fan. I know it was like last Wednesday was kind of when we had that night where like first the president comes on and then the NBA shuts down and it all kind of seems like, and the crazy thing is that kids are still in school at that point. But I remember talking to you that night last Wednesday and being like, I think it's time to go to the store and stock up.
Thursday we hit Sam's.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it just not necessarily because we were expecting whatever. It was more of the fear of the school closing. It felt inevitable at that point. So I'm curious, is that were you sensing that too? Because I know it came real late up in Buffalo, the decision.
Yeah, well, in Buffalo, they kept tossing it around, and
it didn't seem like it was ever going to happen, and then all of a sudden it happened. It's like our whole world changed. It went from we can go wherever we want.
They didn't get to say goodbye to we didn't have our first confirmed cases in Buffalo until Saturday, so we didn't know anything until Sunday that they weren't going back to school. So nobody got to get anything, any supplies, any packets. They didn't get to say goodbye to their teachers. It's kind of all like so abrupt.
It happened very abruptly.
Yeah.
Well, last Thursday,
still waiting. Sorry.
No, last Thursday. So we found that my kids were sent home with all their stuff, like their entire desks in their backpacks.
Wow.
And my 9-year-old, who is he's shorter, he's the skinnier of our bunch, was coming in with his back kind of hunched back, trying to carry his book bag in, and I'm like, oh my God, here, let me help you with this. And then my other son called to me. He's like, can you help me get the rest of my stuff off the bus? I'm like, what's happening? What do you mean get your stuff off the bus? So I had to go help him bring the rest. And he said, yeah, they said, get ready because we may be home starting tomorrow, or we take everything back in tomorrow and bring it back again.
What?
Which is what happened. So they took everything back in on Friday and then hauled it all back home. But it was because nobody knew what was going on. And I said, just leave your stuff here. And if your teacher needs an excuse, I'll give you one that you're not hauling all of that back in.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
I mean, we kind of got the tip on late on Friday. It was going to be going down. They're going to be shutting down. Like, the worst part is like, there's no clue when this thing is going to end. It's just like, we could, or maybe 2 weeks, maybe, I don't know. Like it seems very realistic that we may have to finish the school year at home. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
Well, so our big thing now is, we'll see how things look like after spring break is over on April 20th, and we're all thinking there's no way that's going to be the end of this.
Well, here they're projecting it's still like 40. Hey, Yank.
Tina.
Hi, Tina.
Hi.
They're saying the peak here in Buffalo is still like 40 something days away, which is well after the time period they think we're returning. So I doubt we'll be returning.
New introductions.
Never know though, maybe.
New introductions.
Yeah, let's do a new introduction. Just joining the party here. Our friends Dave and Tina, who live in Elizabeth, outside of Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys.
What's it,
Hey, how's it going? It's the Cousins.
Yeah.
Well, we've been on
I'll
virtualization
introduce you
days all
quickly to
week.
Doug, who's also here with us.
You've already been.
Yeah, Elizabeth Ford is always approved for 5 days, so of virtualization days for the past 3
Oh
years.
wow.
With all the
Wow.
kids and
Yeah.
iPads.
Asked everybody kind of like to lay out what their situation is just real quick. So, Dave, you want to give us the quick of kind of what your current living, working kid situation is right now?
Well, Tina is pretty much working in the kitchen and, chasing the kids through the kitchen and trying to get Chase to do his virtual days. Can you guys hear me okay?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And I was moving from the kitchen to the computer room upstairs to the dining room, just trying to find my place in the house.
Mm.
Much like Gilbert when he's looking for a place
Yeah.
to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
real
daycare closed
quick,
now.
just let
We
everybody
have
know how old
15
your kids are.
with us too.
Yeah, we've got Taylor and Chase here. And Taylor only wants to be held pretty much the entire day while we're like, we gotta be on this conference call.
Yep. We still have to do our job, and I have a class that I have to do too.
So hard.
It's rough, but
So,
you kind of got to go through it. And then along with the toilet paper missing everywhere. I mean, we've got toilet paper.
Oh wait, hold
We
on.
got a sponsor for you guys.
We have something for you. Hold on 1 second.
Uh-oh. Oh, but we can't really share it to you virtually.
There we go, guys. Here it is. The starter kit for the Mega Roll. Like, I had.
Wow. Massive.
Is it 2-ply or 4-ply?
Oh, it's full ply, baby.
It's charming.
It's charming stuff, man. But we are doing all right. And the crazy thing is, we actually had about a month ago a scare where we didn't have any toilet paper before any of this was a thing. And coincidentally, all of the toilet paper we ordered through Amazon and the extra stuff that we bought all came in right before all this happened. So we accidentally stocked up. We got paper towels, toilet paper. Text me, and I'll give you a good price point on a roll of toilet paper.
Ahead of the game, and the inside tip.
No, Amazon lost our package is what happened. And so then they reordered us another one. And then the reordered one and our regular subscribe and save and the lost one showed up. So it was just a lot of toilet paper.
So the big news story is, why does everybody think everyone's hoarding toilet paper? But before we get to that question, I do have to say that this started as a joke gift because for Christmas, her parents love Charmin so much that she got her that giant roll. Now her parents turned around and gave one to all of her dolls. So it started off as a joke gift, and now it's just survival.
if only they'd known.
If only they'd known.
So why are people hoarding toilet paper?
It's a good question.
I was looking like online today because I was also wondering why the heck is everybody ordering toilet paper? Because everything I have heard and read has been, it's not a butt thing. It's a head and chest thing.
I've also heard that.
It's not like a stomach virus where, you're throwing up and having diarrhea all the time. It's all about the chest and fevers.
Yeah, and respiratory.
But I think
Right.
part of it too is they see that all these people are buying toilet paper, and your first thought is, "Oh, I don't want to be out of toilet paper." And then the other guys go, "Well, I don't want to be out of toilet paper either." Honey, you better go get some toilet paper before everyone's out. We've got kids. And next thing you know, you're down at the Dollar General trying to barter out in the parking lot for some toilet paper.
Like they stopped making it or something. Yeah, no, I think you're right. And it's so big that it's the first thing people notice went off the shelves. Like you buy one pack of toilet paper and it takes up like 3 feet. You buy a can of beans and it's like that big, right? So I guess that's part of it too.
Yeah, I was wondering. I'm like, did they make this edible or something? Because If you can't eat it, what good is it going to do? I mean, you can always poop in the woods.
Maybe it was so that kids could wrap themselves up like mummies because they were going to be so
Right.
bored.
This is right when Taylor is now getting excited about toilet paper. So Chris will be in the bathroom, going to the bathroom. She'll open up the door, wander in. They'll laugh a little bit, and
Then
then
it's all over the
Taylor
floor.
will come running out with a stream of toilet paper.
We're like, no, we need that.
Well, don't give them the giant roll. I mean, you can run a mile in that. Do a couple laps around the house.
Do you have a dispenser that's rated to deliver such goods?
So it comes with its own stand with like a weighted.
You guys want to see the stand it comes with? You buy so much toilet
Yeah,
paper,
yeah,
they give you a bathroom fixture.
Yeah, we
I'm
need
going
to
to go
see
get
that.
it. One second.
Oh, geez.
All right, go get that.
We put it in
Yeah.
our room for the exact reason you were talking about with Taylor, so that our kids wouldn't unroll it all in our house.
It's a good idea.
I think Sorg needs to do a timer to see how long it actually took for a group of parents to get together and have poop talk.
Yeah.
Seriously.
How much time? Dun, 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 dun.
This is what you get when you buy the starter kit. And I'm not joking. This thing isn't plastic. It is substantial.
Got a weighted metal base.
Look how big this thing
Holy
is.
cow!
Look at that.
It will fold. Well, maybe not that far, but and it's just you're ready to roll, baby. You're ready
Wow!
to roll. You get 3 rolls and the your butt's cut.
The front.
That's right. Or the tradition.
Top, of course.
It really doesn't matter because either way, you got to roll that thing a couple times around before you can get back to the start. How we
Toilet
doing?
paper for the Duggars?
The Duggars. Well, we're nearly there, right?
Well, so in Austria, they say that you can't have gatherings of larger than 5, which pretty much puts our family out at 6. we have to split up, apparently.
Pick your favorites.
Dominic showed me this meme of The Office where they're all like fake shooting each other with handguns. And it's like, was it Austria?
Yeah.
Austria just put that law on for 5. All families of 6 be like, you know, like, shooting. Which one's going?
We're in this whole new world. It's just a whole new world. You have to stay 6 feet away from people, and people are still trying to figure out, like, you can go and talk to each other outside, and you see like circles of people really far away from each other.
Like,
You know,
like
it's
20 feet away.
I know. Anybody else have any stories about stuff like that?
So it feels like I'm in a prison yard because I got my 1 hour exercise and it was walking around a track that was surrounded by a high fence and everybody was keeping at least 6 feet distance between each other. We're like, this is actually kind of creepy. And we looked up at the parking lot and all the cars had at least like 3 or 4 spots in between each car.
Oh, funny.
Oh my gosh.
And then we looked up and our boys were playing basketball, and there's just a couple kids up there, but they made, the parents were like, no, 2 kids on this side, 2 kids on that side. And it's crazy to see it. And even as there's 6 lanes on the track, even as people would come by you, they recognize the 6 feet and they like shimmy over 2 or 3 lanes. Like, it's just, I don't know, like nobody was talking to each other. Everyone was just kind of looking and like, okay, are we supposed to be here? What are we supposed to do? And it's just I haven't been out very much with the boys at home and then with work. So getting that 1 hour today, I'm like, oh, I get to go see other people. I could breathe fresh air besides in my backyard, and I'm looking around going, I don't miss any of these people because apparently we're not supposed to look.
And I'm the type of guy that'll forget too. I'll walk up and just want to shake someone's hand. How's it going? And then everybody will just look at me weird, and I'll be like, "What? Oh, that's right."
Remember we were eating out on Saturday before this all happened, and Taylor keeps shoving her food in her mouth, and she's coughing. And people keep looking at her like, we're like, inhale your food.
Now you get a tickle in your throat, and you just want to
Right.
cough it up. You're like, no, I can't.
Right.
I'm not going to be branded.
I mentally stopped myself from sneezing. I don't know. I forgot where it was, but it was an area, and there's people over there, and I'm just like, don't sneeze, don't sneeze, don't sneeze. It was like in a giant eagle or something. And it was one of those, I'm good.
And it just feels weird, doesn't it, when you stop a sneeze like that?
It does.
Well, so then I guess the big relevant question to all of this is, how do you survive it without getting cabin fever? How do you still socialize with people? Two things come to mind. One is you can still take treks outside. I like the idea of running. But the other one is, do you have anybody else who lives inside your bubble? Like, we still go to my brother's house because, like, he agrees that he's not going to see anybody. We agree we're not going to see anybody. So we're still kind of in that safe bubble. Are we tricking ourselves? Is anybody else doing this?
We don't have anybody near us.
You and brother agree you're not going to see other people? Is that what you?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're like, I like
You're
to think of it as our quarantine bubble, right? You gotta,
Yeah.
There you go.
like a little colony. So
That
no,
with
you guys are laughing at
with your sister.
Yeah, we definitely have that with my sister. We actually watched her two kids who are way younger. They're 3 and almost 1. So we were going 4 kids wide here at the house the other day, and that was some of respect for you, Chris and Alanna, because that was pretty wild for a day. But yeah, you kind of keep it within the bubble, and you're like, hey, you are asking us about kids. We agree to not have contact with anyone else because we're going to be watching your kids. We don't want to, make that happen.
Yeah,
but as far as like social interaction, it's kind of funny because this is hilarious. Like, we rarely take walks, but now like this week we're like, we should go take a walk. Let's take a walk. Let's take the dog out for a walk. And being out on the walk, if I see like a car drive by, probably it'd be like car drive by, whatever, head down, going. I see the car drive by, I'm like, staring at the car because I just want to be like, hey, hi, what's going on? What's up? Just like begging for something. There's no one out there, It's like,
Or it's funny when you see somebody walking. I've never saw that dog before.
or the people are walking the other direction. They're like, you're approaching, got like, we're one side of the street. You see them coming your way, and they like, from like 100 feet away, they like shift to the other side of the street. You're just kind of like, hey, all right, yeah, I guess, all right, no flyby, all right, see you later.
I like when the mail carrier comes by because then I can talk to him through my Ring doorbell.
Yes,
that's a whole new level.
find the Amazon.
What's the real world like out there?
And then when he leaves, you gotta make sure to clean off the door or the doorbell.
Yeah.
You just see
I
this.
had that.
Oh no, I could just do it all through my
hanky
phone.
reach
They
out.
just need to talk.
I was having a hard day yesterday. It was just, I was feeling really like closed in, and so many people talking to me the whole day. Like, I usually have little bits of quiet, and I was like losing it. And it's crazy how much just like going for a walk and breathing air that's not inside of your house just makes you feel like a different person.
So I know a couple of people on here do yoga. Alanna, you were doing yoga this morning. Other people might have been doing yoga. Do you find it's a good way to do to kind of connect and relax a little bit too?
Absolutely.
It's definitely still an inside activity, right?
Yeah.
You almost have to. I mean, just to keep sane. You can't just sit there and just do work straight through the day.
Yeah.
And the kids kind of take your mind off. So, like, usually if you're at work and you get stuck on something, sometimes, especially me with my ADD, I'm like, what's that? It's a bright light, and like, I don't come back to earth for another hour. But here it's like the kids keep you grounded, your wife or significant other keeps you grounded to like other things that are going on. It's like, all right, well, I'm not going to do this, so maybe I'll go and start dinner.
Yeah. There's a cat.
Go play with the kid because she's been standing there going, "Dad, yeah," for like 10 minutes, and I'm just like, I mean, and then I look up and she's looking at me like, "Come on, you're here. Let's play. Let's do this." And we set up a blockade so she couldn't get into the dining room because she was grabbing the wine bottles and opening the wine holder. And there's like a
Teach them young, Davey. Teach them young.
pitcher in there, and it's she keeps trying to pull out this glass pitcher, and it's.
I think once we find out what the online school schedule is going to be next week, it's going to be a little bit easier for us to figure out our days, because right now it's. I said before that most of my day is I'm online working on stuff, and I'm hiding up in my bedroom with my new makeshift office that I now have to have. But I have to keep the door cracked open so I don't hear two kids fighting over video games down here. But when next week happens, once I get their schedule, I'm now going to have to take. Okay, I have to be teacher with their schedule plus my schedule and rearrange meetings that way. Which now everything is using Zoom.
Yeah.
Which buy stock in whoever owns Zoom. Everybody's going to be using it. The spec keeps crashing on us. But yeah, that's going to be a huge thing. Is I think time management for everyone. It's not that none of us have ever been stressed being parents, but this is a whole new dynamic to being stressed. Like I've heard from friends that are like, well, why can't you just be a parent and just parent? I'm like, you have no idea.
Right.
Like they're here all the time.
They are. And they're stressed. Like having like my 13-year-old son and my 10-year-old daughter, they don't want to be home with their siblings all day. They want to be with their friend while being here because they're teenagers.
My boys are friends with the people across the street, and our kids and their kids were on the porch today, both waving to each other like, "Hi."
I know.
Like the street is lava.
I
know. So weird.
No.
Well, it's because we don't know an end. We don't know when it's supposed to end. That's the hard part. We don't
That's
know.
true.
Well, the harder thing to accept is it's not going to end for many months. So I guess all we can really talk about as far as being productive is, well, first of all, like you said, with the school schedules, at least, Alanna, you were talking about kind of carving out different parts of the day. Look, sometime between the hours of 10 and 12, you're going to get your math homework done. Sometime after lunch, you're going to do your English or whatever they call it these days. And then you make up things too. Like we'll go on a field trip as a family to just walk around the woods or watch a video that's somewhat educational.
Yeah.
Or today was make a birthday card.
Sign language.
Or make a birthday card for mom, and that's in our class, right? So just try to break up the day, I guess, a little bit so that it doesn't feel like every moment is all the same for them.
Yeah.
And then at least they have some sanity.
Yeah, we tried to learn Irish dancing the other day.
Just look up YouTube video on how to do an Irish jig.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. Watching everybody try to do it.
We got to take part in something really cool today that I didn't even know was a thing, but through I don't know if you guys have Snapologies around you.
I don't know what that is.
It's kind of like a basically they focus a lot with like Legos and block building, and then they have different theme parties around that. So if you would go to a Snapology, they teach you like how to make different different construction features, or to basically start building. They want you to use your mind to build.
Cool.
And today I got a text from one of the other parents that said, "Hey, we're going to have a virtual play party or play date." What are you talking about? And she goes, "Trust me, just sign up for it." I think it was like $10. And they had an instructor that did it over Zoom, and all the kids that were sent invites joined. So there were 16 kids on a video chat. And the instructor said, "Get all of your Legos together, and now we're going to learn about the engineering process."
I love it.
Cool.
Like, wait, what?
That's amazing.
So the topic and how they got around to it was, why do you think Tony Stark built the Iron Man suit the way he did? And all of a sudden, all the kids went, "Oh, what?" And she said, "Okay, we're going to start first with design. What problem do we need to solve?" I'm like, "Wait, stop! This is awesome.
Yeah,
I want to play." And so she spent.
And you're still distracted from work then, huh?
Well, I told my boss, I'm like, "Look, we're going to do this thing," and she has kids also. She's like, "Cool. If you need to take that time, go ahead and do that." So we sat there with the kids, and I'm watching them, and they wanted nothing to do with the video games, YouTube, nothing else. They're like, "I want to watch this person build.
Cool.
And then the other kids could chime in too and say, hey, this is what I'm building. So they all got to show off like their creations.
That's cool.
And I'm like, I want more of this. I will give you all of my money. If it means
we talked about having like a daily bingo because we just got one of those big rotary bingo things.
Just
We're like, we'll just like at 2:00 every day, everyone get out your bingo boards. We're gonna play
like as a
bingo.
remote thing. Well, so yeah, to your point, I think that just in general, there's more people and entities that are going out and just saying, hey, we want to reach out to your kids and we want to reach out to you and help you out. Like there's the author that's showing people every day how to do it. Mo Willems, who did the Elephant and Pig books. Every day he's just doing a live stream of how to doodle something. So you can learn how to doodle. And they're like active things where they want to try to get participation. So I know I'm going to be asking for the information on how to do the Lego thing later, because we should probably just accumulate a list of all those things, because a lot of them are getting out there to help people.
Well, we'll definitely, believe it or not, we're starting a Facebook group for this podcast, and put the links to some of the stuff we're talking about in the description and whatnot too, so people can go and find it. I think it's funny that everyone's trying to figure out ways to keep the kids occupied, trying to figure out ways to keep the adults occupied, as if we're not bored sitting at home all the time. You know, we'll figure something out. But
that's true.
I mean, there's so many hours where it's kind of like there's nothing to do. You know, I've got projects around the house that I'd like to do, but I don't want to go to the Home Depot. I mean, it's like
that's true.
I have a railing that needs replaced. I've got yard work that needs done, but I don't have any bags to put it in.
And Amazon shipping is now like 5 days or 10 days.
What?
Yes. It's crazy.
Is it?
Yeah. So just parent sanity. I have some neighborhood friends here, and one of the moms texted this morning. She's like, if I put chairs like 10 feet away from each other in the yard, would you guys come over and hang out? So we did. We sat in chairs like 20 feet away from each other, and like brought our own nail polish and did our nails while we were sitting there. But it was so good. It was just so good.
You know, and it's weird. It's such a weird time, because what are the rules of this world we live in? Like when there's a power failure, you know, when you flip on a switch, you're like, oh yeah, that doesn't turn on. Or in a snowstorm, you're like, oh yeah, I can't go outside. But like in this one, you're like, wait, so I can kind of see you, but I can't. And it's just such a weird set of rules. You could go to Home Depot, but should you? Yeah. Am I dying right now? I don't know. I could be. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I mean, I've got like a takeout phobia going that is going to become irrelevant soon because all the restaurants are going to be closing down. But like, depends. Like, should we do takeout? And I'm like, I don't want to do takeout. I mean, it's not that I don't trust the individual who's preparing my food. It's just like, as a group of food preparers, you know, you don't want to get that one bad one. You know, it's just it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous to just worry about stuff like that.
But what about takeout food that kills the germs? Go.
Okay. So I don't know how Pennsylvania is, but New York, you can't get alcohol. Like you can get, you know what? In Pennsylvania, you get a 6-pack from a bar, right?
Don't talk their language. Just do your language.
So,
we're in Buffalo, New York, so we're about 3 hours north of Pittsburgh.
New York State.
Tell us about this magical land called New York. I
want
want to hear
come on up.
Come on. So I'm just hoping that this waiver stays. So currently standing, all restaurants and bars are closed. Mm-hmm. However, there's a waiver in place that you can buy alcohol, including like big things of cocktails,
shakers,
to go.
Like they're mixing you up a cocktail and they're delivering it to your house.
Or you can say like they have the Moscow Mule, whatever drink they have. They give you like 2 to 5 servings, however many it is, and you go and you take it to go. It's amazing. So
let's hope that keeps going.
Back in college, they would have those at the bar in Edinburgh where we would go. They'd have the Long Islands in like this giant container. You're supposed to share them.
Oh, was just like is that at the Borough Hotel or the Borough?
I think you can take those to go, or you can take them there.
Well, you could if you could take it out.
Right? Oh, all right. Cool. Anyway, I hope that way.
Look at alcohol outside of a bar in Pennsylvania. That is against the rules. That is absolutely against the rules here. So.
Which is why it's so crazy.
Well, that's why it's so crazy that you're allowed to like get to go drinks from a bar. Like that means they're in someone's vehicle. Like it's crazy.
This is the obvious progression from this.
Yeah.
How did people celebrate their St. Patrick's Days? Did you do anything at home? Did Did you make a the other day? Did you at least have a drink?
I had a drink of the bullet whiskey, bullet rye.
Yeah, but right, that's good stuff.
That's what I've got now, but you know, that's all I had. Tina and I both. Well, Tina forgot it was actually St. Patty's Day.
No.
She's German. I'm Polish.
Well, we're all Irish on that day when you
17.
drink. But anyway, so I went to
True.
the grocery store. I weathered the storm, and I said, we're gonna get some drinks. And of course, you have to get a pale lager or beer of some sort so you can diet green. And I'm just staring at it over and over, and I'm like, do I buy it? Do I buy it? I'm like, yes, I do. I am staring this coronavirus in the face. I'm helping the companies out, and I got a 12-pack of Corona. I'm finishing the last ones now. It dies perfectly. It tastes just as good as it did before. So gotta help them out. So I'm looking it right in the face.
Nice.
Well, I mean, like, hey, people are avoiding Corona for all the wrong reasons, and it's not fair to them. You should buy a Corona. So I want to ask Doug what he thinks of the beer.
No.
You're being too shy about your expertise in beers and other things of that related.
Aficionado, maybe. Snob is just
Connoisseur.
Connoisseur. We could say connoisseur. In fact, I could tell you the last time that I drank a Corona was in Erie at next door to Rum Runners, because whenever I'm in Erie, I have to drink Corona by the bay. It's just a thing, and I don't know.
You're at the beach.
The funny thing is, so when I lived in Erie, I wouldn't touch this stuff, but now when I go back, I feel like a complete tourist. I'm like, yeah, of course I'm going to have a Corona with a lime. Why wouldn't I have that here? I'd disappoint my mom if I didn't have that. Surprisingly, though, on St. Patty's Day and last weekend, I did not have anything to drink. And it wasn't because I didn't want anything. It's because I am so dang tired from everything going on. I crashed hard. I'm like, I was supposed to go out and do something yesterday, huh? And then Sunday, the other thought in my head was, I take that back. I did have one beer, I think, on Saturday. But Sunday morning, I had to usher mass, and all my thoughts were, I can't even go in there with a hangover or anything because I have no idea what's about to happen. I need to be 100% focused and get my butt in there. Wow. So I didn't get to partake on Saturday night, and then on the 17th, I just fell asleep because I've got two kids home with me.
That's all right. That happens.
But it was funny with Saturday because it's like the Catholic churches no longer have wine out. They take it up there, and nobody we weren't going to pass baskets around either because we didn't want people touching baskets. So it's like, it's weird seeing how this all just kind of trickles down to so many different places. You don't realize how many things people touch. And I am having the hardest time not touching my
face.
I'm the same way.
You're supposed to touch your face loose. Let's go.
When I'm in front of my computer screen, I usually rest my hand in my face like this.
That's the way I am.
Scratch the stubble a little bit. I wonder about how much I've shaved. 4 hours have gone by, and I read a line of code.
Well, I figured that since I'm probably not going to have a chance to grow a playoff beard this year, I'm just going to let it go now and see what happens.
Okay, so you said the magic words. I see the Buffalo Bills and my Bills compatriot down in Pittsburgh. Brady's traded. The Bills are on a move. Taking 2 seconds to celebrate.
Good time.
Woo! Woo! Hey, hey!
Hey!
Let's go Buffalo!
Let's go Buffalo! 2020
Bills
Super
make me
Bowl,
want to
baby.
shout.
Okay, we can move on now. The advertisement's over. Everybody would like to know how to
Buy
make
your season pass now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, as far as St. Patrick's Day goes, it came and went without me even realizing it, honestly. I had no external stimulus to inform me that it was St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Patrick's Day is all the people that were down in the strip district still. Like binge drinking, hanging all over each other when everyone else is saying, "Get away!"
Yeah.
Disperse. But they're still arm in arm drinking their beers, and it's like the videos of spring break that they were showing tonight on the news. Like people are just like, "Whatever, yeah, I'm going to go to the beach, get a
down
drink."
Florida.
So I never heard. I mean, besides the fact that people come in to buy things from the state store and everything like that, but why so quick to close the alcohol? Was it because alcohol brings people together and we get all touchy-feely, weird and stuff? And
Like bars? Well, ours bars closed the same time restaurants did. And
hold on. Yank, are you asking a question if bars make people feel touchy-feely? Is that a legitimate question you just asked?
Alcohol in general, like, just makes you're gonna go up and give someone a hug a little bit easier than if you weren't drinking.
ours all kind of closed. Ours were closed, and then other things in New York, it was kind of like everything shut down,
Right?
Except for takeout and groceries. Like that's all that's left. But
I'm really surprised that our liquor stores closed this fast.
Right. That's what I was saying.
Our liquor stores aren't closed. Yours
Ours are.
Okay,
Yeah, ours closed yesterday.
So how much would you
Oh,
show them the big? Who wants a big bottle of vodka?
you gotta disinfect the inside and the outside, guys. Come on,
That's
you
just
can't close the liquor store.
That is science.
Well, knowing how much the state of Pennsylvania taxes our alcohol,
Wow.
I am really surprised. But then again, West Virginia is 45 minutes away.
I can't imagine the
Bridgeville
alcohol
says
tax is
their
higher
John
than
Eagle
regular.
sells alcohol.
Huh?
Bridgeville's John Eagle sells alcohol. Some of the grocery stores will sell alcohol. Like Bridgeville, they have a really nice John Eagle there.
That's interesting.
Yeah, ours does.
You guys
But the
have
good stuff is
alcohol
at the
in grocery
state
stores?
liquor stores.
Do you
Yeah,
guys
when,
sell
like,
alcohol in the grocery
You
stores?
want to get
We don't sell the hard stuff at the liquor store. We sell wine and we have beer, and we have beer that's very close to being hard liquor.
No,
11% beer.
like that.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
Oh, maybe that
It
one's
was-
still open.
yeah, because that one, that's a brand new
Arnie,
one.
I remember
We
you,
can-
Arnold. You made me feel like a champion when the Bills were losing to Houston.
We sell
Sorry.
beer in grocery stores, but not wine or liquor. So we only have liquor stores for that. You can't sell beer and wine and liquor at the same place in New York.
I'm just saying, worst case scenario, you can still go to Sheetz and get an MTO and beer.
Yeah.
So we're not 100% tapped out yet, but
Well, good.
we're getting close.
I never thought of that.
Just go to the hills
There's
of.
one close to us.
Just wear your plastic gloves while you're ordering on the screens.
Go
Oh, no,
to,
you can order from the app.
Ooh.
You just order from your phone and pay for it, and then just pick it up.
Yeah, it's just that there's still a human being who has to be involved in preparing the food. That's just kind of like the hang up.
Yeah, but it's all deep fried anyway, so it's
there you go.
it's been burned out.
I mean, what harm could there be in the app sampler that was not already there with the app sampler, for years and years before? So
Years and years.
how much more dangerous could it be for you? than it
Because
already
Sheetz
was?
is the healthiest food you're going to have.
Yeah, you're buying food from a gas station. Any way you slice it.
It's not a gas station. It's Sheetz.
Hey, listen, I am a
Oh,
fan of Sheetz. I'm waiting for them to come up to Buffalo. Don't get me wrong.
Our man Sorg, who's handling the technical side, jumped into the chat on the live stream and said he used a napkin to order on the drive-through screen today.
There you go.
And that's where we're at.
I went to the
Surge.
supermarket today, and so many people were shopping with latex gloves and masks on, and I'm like, all right, this is weird.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
weird.
I know, it is.
And how much is necessary though, too? I mean, here's the thing. They say that the masks, this is what the whole world says. The masks are there to stop you as the diseased person from getting other people disease. It doesn't stop you from getting anything. And as far as your hands, just wash your hands after you get out of there. I mean, what are we doing here?
Except for then you're like, oh, I gotta touch my face
No,
95,000 times.
Oh, you got to with the latex gloves either way. What are you peeling that thing off and doing the quick itch? No, that's not happening.
Pretty soon
Oh,
we're going to get news reports of breaking down the exact way to wash your hands properly.
Ah.
We're going to start seeing that. I mean, we have the 20 seconds or sing happy birthday to you while you're washing your hands, but they're going to come up with certain soaps and certain ways, and
we're going to get real picky about it.
Make
Gotta
sure
be a
you
certain temperature.
make sure you get in between all the wrinkles on your hand with Q-tips and all this other crazy stuff.
Have you watched Mark Rober's videos before on YouTube?
No.
I have.
No.
So he does a series. He does 12 videos a year. He's a former NASA scientist or rocket scientist, actually, I think he was. But he came out with a video today. It's usually his videos are geared towards really cool things for that kids can see or that will involve a lot of people. And today he did a story or a piece on germs and how germs stick to your hands. And he gets very scientific about it, but he makes it so that everybody can understand what's going on. So it's very cool to watch. And he's a really great personality. So they had this thing called like a germ dust that they put on kids' hands. And while they were in their classrooms, they went around touching stuff. And then he said, hey, go wash your hands. I'm not going to ruin the end of it. But you could probably figure out how it ended with how clean the kids' hands were even after 20 seconds. Like it should, because he had a black light and it shows you where the germs would still be on your hands.
Wow.
So definitely, let's make sure that's part of the Facebook post too.
Yeah, I just watched it before we got on tonight. It was really good. My kids were like, look at all the germs. You should take a look at your desk at school sometime. I'm afraid about this desk here that they play video games on.
Or a hotel room bed. Just jump in the bed. Don't even look at it. Just do it.
Just jump in it.
It all comes down to, what year was it? 2005? They came down for St. Patty's Day in Savannah.
Purell.
Okay.
Purell, feet. We knew back then.
That was 15 years ago.
That was 15 years ago. Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Shut your mouth.
That
was yesterday.
So the neat thing, we talked about where you can get booze and how you can do it. In Savannah, it's just anything goes. And my favorite thing about Savannah was they had a restaurant. Well, all it is a walk in, grab your alcoholic slushie, and then get out.
Yes. They didn't have any. There's no place to sit. You just kind of walk right through. It's like a haunted house. It's colored.
And you know what the funny thing is?
They're all like slushies. That's all it was. You just walk in, you pick your color, put it in a cup, you get your thing,
Give me your money.
and you put to the back of the bar, up a staircase and out the back door, come back down. That's it.
It was faster than pizza or ice cream. It was just like go. And I remember I got almost too relaxed one time because we're walking out. I got my beer. We're walking out, and the guy at the door goes, "Whoa, stop!" I'm like, "Oh." He goes, he takes my beer, he pours it in a plastic cup, and he goes, "There you go. Now you can go." I'm like, I feel so much safer. Thank you.
Oh my god. The stuff in Savannah is the life-changing experience of all.
That was.
Who knows if we'll ever see it come back? But after all this is done, but it had its day and it was fun.
It's going to be awesome again. And I'll tell you what, you're in the right place when you have all the other people on the street corners talking about how you're, all right, never mind. I was going to talk about how you're going to, you got to straighten your life or else you're going to go to a bad place after you die and all this stuff. It's like, you went to the right party place when it's attracting all the people going, you're doing it all wrong. You're like, woo, party.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Anyway.
Great. All right. Well, hey, it's 10 o'clock on the East Coast. My drink is gone now, so I feel like we should wrap things up. So just give you guys a last chance to say like some parting words of wisdom or anything, something to just inspire anybody who maybe made it all the way to the end of this thing.
Wash your hands.
Don't put too much pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
Like whatever. It's okay.
This is a world pandemic. If your kid watches a couple more movies or plays a little bit more Fortnite and socializes, let's just get through it. Yeah.
I think it's super important to stay healthy, get out, get walks, get runs in, get a workout in every day. But now you have the time because usually you're commuting. So that commute time You could either grab one of the kids, both the kids. We went for a family like run walk today. I mean,
Nice.
for about a mile, 1.2 miles. And
Wow.
you know, just get out. Like I try to get Chase to run with me every day.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I've been trying to get back into like workouts. It just clears your head through the day.
And the workouts are super important for all the eating you're doing because you're around food all the time.
Right. I still
weather
try to
needs
just
to
eat the
cooperate.
same way that I normally do, but there is a lot more Triscuits and things here that I like eating. So
I think a big thing that we're going to get out of this too is more companies are going to recognize too your mental well-being and how important that is, and also we're starting to realize that too. Whereas it always work until until the day to die, and now it's hold on, we really need to take a step back, take time for ourselves, and our employers are seeing that too. Which, especially with moving everyone to working online, we've got to be flexible, and we're still getting the work done. It's just not the conventional hours, but
it's true.
And yes, go out and take a walk.
That's still healthy.
Get the fresh air.
That's still healthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a world event. I just want to say this is a world event. And Alanna, you're talking about journal it, embrace it, do take some photos, just embrace it, and we're gonna get through it as a better people. I think the world is uniting against an international enemy, and there's some positive that's gonna come from it too.
I think you're good.
That was beautiful.
I'll just add, if anyone's watching this, yesterday, you survived today, you can do tomorrow. So that's all it is. One day at a time, right? So, hey, what?
Sounded like Barbara.
Yeah, put that needle point for everybody.
Wow.
All right.
You sounded like Barbara Walters.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is 2020.
One day at a time.
Thanks, Chris and Alanna in Buffalo. Listen to your parents, Facebook, Twitter, it's all there. Check it out. We got links below. Check it out then. Thanks a lot for listening. Stay strong. See you around the bend. All right.
Thank you.